honourable member. The honourable member for Calgary-West.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. It is my honour and with great humility that I be given the opportunity to second the motion moved by my honourable colleague, the member from Fort Saskatchewan-Vegreville. I want to thank the Premier for the opportunity of seconding this motion and for allowing me the chance to address this House for the first time as the representative and servant of the constituency of Calgary-West. Thank you. As I stand before you today, it is important I acknowledge that democracy is the cornerstone of our society and its values. And it is through our democratic tradition that I have the privilege of being here with you all now. I am lifted up and borne aloft on the shoulders of those that came before me from Calgary-West: Elaine McCoy, Karen Kriska, Ron Leipert, Ken Hughes, and of course, Peter Lougheed. I can see a distant shore, a shore that is the future of the great province, Mr. Speaker, and it is because of the foundation that was laid for me by generations past, a foundation laid by the determined effort and perseverance of people both in the past and present. And it is to these people that I express today my gratitude and thanks. It is the people of Calgary-West to whom I owe this truly great honour, and I see it as my humble duty to fulfill this mandate to the best of my ability. The past influences the future, but the future is yet to be, and unlike the past, the future can be changed by what we think and do in this moment, in this session of the legislature. There is a golden thread in our past, and that thread runs through each of us, yet while each thread is individual and as unique as each person assembled here today, Mr. Speaker, these threads, while independent, are woven into the fabric we call community. And our individual threads working together make up a tapestry that we today call Alberta. These individual threads that started our provincial tapestry came from mavericks, men and women, who were adventurous, hardworking, and spirited. These men and women are the past generations that broke the soil and tamed this land. Our ancestors toiled and they worked this land, creating farms and ranches, building communities. And when they were defeated and broken, they got up, they dusted themselves off, and they started over. This Albertan trait was never more evidently displayed than the recent floods that affected a great portion of our province, including the community of Calgary-West. That is the Alberta spirit, a pride in our past, our strengths, and our cultural diversity. When times are tough, Albertans roll up their sleeves and they get to work. We have the strength to view the future not as a problem, but as a joyous task, a labor to embrace. It is the same independent free spirit that shaped our past, which will guide our province towards the future and the change that the future brings. It is said that Alberta was built by mavericks. These mavericks were unique characters. They were inspired and determined risk-takers, forward-looking individuals, creative and eager for change. Their collected efforts propelled Alberta in a new direction. They changed the landscape of what was into what is. Were these mavericks great men and women? Some of them, yes. Most of them. Nay, the majority of them were regular people. They were and are people of our communities, our neighbours, and our constituents. Alberta was built by these hardworking people. I often wondered what brought these people to Alberta. I think that it was not only the Canadian government's program to settle the West, but it was the unique and diverse land itself. The boreal forests to the north, the Rockies that framed the Westlands, the aspen forests and farmlands of central Alberta, and the grass rangelands of the south. Whatever these reasons, they came and then made Alberta home, and they set down roots and families. Mr. Speaker, they were our founding families. They make up the colorful portrait that is our past. They are the foundations of Alberta heritage. I say foundation because today's Albertan continues to build the history of this great province. Alberta is very much a work in progress. Alberta started a new chapter, one that is fundamentally built on solid principles of integrity, responsibility, and accountability. Although these values were born in the past by our forefathers and strengthened in government by Calgary-West past representative, the Honourable Premier Peter Lougheed, I believe this new era will be one that will allow our province to be blessed with continued growth and prosperity. Our early tapestry was one of cultural diversity. Our present is made up of the same wonderfully diverse thoughts and ideals, races, and creeds. I'm here to represent every Albertan, not just those who voted for and supported me. I will, to the best of my ability, ensure that all of your voices are heard. To those that did not vote for me, please allow me the chance to earn your trust. Once again, I must stress that Albertans have entrusted all members of this House with a tremendous amount of responsibility, which we should hold in the highest esteem. The Government of Alberta, your government, will be ushering in a confident and constructive era that will focus on supporting and strengthening communities and families. I am sure this sentiment is shared by all honourable members of this House. I was once asked what a true Albertan was, and that was something that made me think. Was I one? I live in Alberta. I was born and raised in Alberta. I'm married, and my wife and I are raising our children in Alberta. I make my living in Alberta, and I reside in Alberta. But does all of this make me an Albertan? I believe it does. But I also know that I came from stock that immigrated to Alberta like the majority of Albertans and some time in the past. It is that cultural diversity that makes Alberta strong. It is that very cultural diversity that makes up Calgary-West. Our duty as elected officials is not to be taken lightly. We are all here to serve all the people of Alberta. This is the duty that is particularly near and dear to my heart. My history as a police officer serving in the Calgary Police Service allowed me to serve Albertans and support the community. I see this role no differently. In both positions, I have been chosen to serve Albertans and have their best interests at heart. I would like to thank and recognize all my brothers and sisters in law enforcement throughout Alberta as they put their lives on the line every day they put on their uniforms. I come from a long history of dedicated public servants on my father's side, with over 4 generations dedicated to service in the military and law enforcement. It began when my great-grandfather, Corporal Albert Ellis, fought in World War I and survived the slaughter of Vimy Ridge 100 years ago. The Canadian victory at Vimy Ridge is considered by many as a defining moment for Canada. This was the moment in time Canada became a nation. It continued with my grandfather, Corporal Frank Ellis, who was a World War II veteran, and through to my father, George Ellis, who was a police officer and a major in the Canadian military. The Ellis family has given to this community, this province, and this country for 4 generations, and we will continue to give. My mother, Doreen Chobsey Side, has deep roots in the coal mining communities of Canmore in East Cooley, Alberta. My great-grandfather, Michael Chobsey, was a hard-working coal miner, and my great-grandmother, Mary Chobsey, along with her 2 daughters, Doreen and my grandmother, Jean, spent their time feeding the miners. What exemplified my coal mining family the most, and the rooted values of truly being an Albertan, was during World War II, when my great-grandmother not only fed the miners, but also fed the young boys heading off to war. My family was not rich, but what little extra they had, they gave to those that were less fortunate. And these young Alberta boys who were going off to war, Mr. Speaker, they were impoverished, never knowing when or where their next meal would come. They did not resort to crime, but instead embraced the values of being an Albertan. And when the country of Canada called upon them to serve, these Alberta boys, without hesitation, were the first to sign up and defend our freedom and our rights to sit in this very assembly today. And although we may never know their names, we must remember them for what they did for each and every one of us. I can safely say I'm rooted here. I can safely answer that previous question. I am an Albertan. My family has proudly served and taken part in working hard to build this province. My family was among the Mavericks, and they worked hard to create Alberta as we know it today. And I will work hard for every Albertan to ensure Alberta remains the resilient home that we know it to be. As a Calgarian, and most importantly as a devoted Albertan, I have taken a vested interest in serving my community by doing what is right. I believe that is truly what being an Albertan is, and I know I am not the only one who shares this view. An appreciation for family, community, a consideration for generations to come make a person appreciate the duty-bound necessity of making one's home and community better for future generations. This realization played a crucial role in my choice to pursue a career with the Calgary Police Service. The value system within the Calgary Police Service very much resonates with me. I have dedicated my life to serving others. I feel this is extremely important, and I have tremendous respect for public servants. While in the police service, I became a victim's advocate. I believe in protecting victims and their rights by ensuring there is accountability while considering the overall situation and the individual's rights. I was the only law enforcement officer who was ever a part of the Alberta Secretariat for Action on Homelessness. And sadly today, homelessness is not just reserved for individuals, it now represents families. And we still have work to do, Mr. Speaker. When you push people to the edge of society by not allowing them a place within it, you marginalize them. They are put into a powerless position just outside society. Is this the choice that Albertans are comfortable with? My choices speak for themselves. I am a working man. I always have been, and I always will be. And I am here to serve my community in whatever way I am able. Under the leadership of our Premier, I feel I am able to continue to serve others under his plan for Alberta. The constituency of Calgary-West is rich with history, and I recognize this and honour those that have come before me. The electoral riding of Calgary-West is one of the 2 original Calgary ridings of the 7 that has survived from the 1959 redistribution of the Calgary riding. The other riding is Calgary-Glenmore. Calgary-West population increased by 151.3% between 1994 and 2012, compared to a 44.3% increase for Alberta. The riding is made up of 14 communities, which hold 32,198 homes and a population of at least 80,870 people, and it is still growing. This tremendous growth, Mr. Speaker, has brought infrastructure issues to light. Of prime concern to the riding's constituents is ready access to schools and health care and the development of the Calgary Ring Road. I look forward to continue serving this community that has had a remarkable impact on me. Community is the cornerstone in both my life and my value system, and I am happy to have my family be a part of the community of Calgary-West. I thank my beautiful wife Holly and my 3 children, Simone, age 10, Keaton, age 6, and Mason, age 2, for reminding me every day how important it is to work for Albertans to ensure they are protected and are able to grow and build an even more resilient Alberta. Family and a sense of community values teach you the importance of building a better future in a way that nothing else really can, yet building for the future does not come without hard work and determination. And my family's military and coal mining roots have made this very clear to me. It has also made clear to me that in the province like Alberta, anyone with determination can make a brighter future for himself and those around him. It is important that every Albertan deserves an equal opportunity to pursue the best possible future for oneself. And at the end of the day, is that not why we are all here today? To ensure Albertans are given an opportunity and the best possible environment to succeed. Is this not what the past generations have committed to providing us? We have all made an important commitment to our constituents, our communities, our friends, and our neighbours have passed us the torch, a torch of hope and a torch of trust. This torch represents their dreams and their tomorrows. We have collectively, as an assembly, been entrusted with a sacred commitment to building a brighter future, not just for a select few, but for all Albertans. And so I promise to bring ethics, honesty, integrity, accountability, and respect to everything I do in my capacity as a servant, not only for my constituents' interests, but for all Albertans and colleagues. These values are integral to who I am and what I stand for in all aspects of my life. And in my view, they are values shared by all Albertans as well. It is with these values in mind that I decided to take my part in the province's moment of renewal under the new management of our new Premier. The Premier has laid out a sensible plan that has resonated with me and has clearly resonated with Albertans. A focused commitment to conservative fiscal principles, an end to entitlements, and a restoration of public trust, maximizing the value of our resources while respecting property rights, establishing Alberta as a leader in environmental practices, and of course continuing the effort to establish ourselves as a leader in education, health, and skills training. The new, and I repeat, new management team of this province, with their reasonable common sense approach to decision making, is well poised to chart a course into the future by continuing to serve Albertans and strengthen communities across this province. Mr. Speaker, it is time for our golden threads to be added to the tapestry that is Alberta. Thank you, sir, and God bless.